Good day, Athenians. First off, I just want to express my gratitude to the Office of Student Affairs for this opportunity to be in this session. Thank you, OSA. I am Chair Maybe Olano, a Bachelor of Science in Accountancy graduate of Batch 2016 of Ateneo de Naga University. I am now a certified public accountant and currently working as a branch accountant of ACDI Multipurpose Cooperative in one of its branches in Legazpi City, Albay. I know that you might not be familiar with my company, but ACDI is one of the largest cooperative in the Philippines, catering to the Armed Forces of the Philippines and the Philippine Coast Guard. We are offering services such as savings, loans, and investments, and other financial services to the sector of the society. My work as a branch accountant is purely technical in terms, but I prepare the financial statements of the branch. I make sure that the resources we have are used and accounted for properly, and sometimes I take on administrative function when the needs arises. Working as a branch accountant has enabled me to maximize all that I have learned in college, but it is just more difficult because it is real money we are talking about here. But I guess that I was able to maximize this position because I had a prior experience back in college, and that is what my sharing will be all about. I used to be part of an organization way back in college before I graduated. I joined in 2010 when I was a first-year student and took a time off only when I was just a semester away from graduation. So yes, I have spent most of my years with an organization. And yes, I am a solid. I almost majored in student organizations, or BS-org as we call it. I was part of a SWAG Junior Eagles Club. It is a socio-civic organization aiming to help its partner beneficiaries through its various projects and programs in line with its 3 areas of concern, which are youth empowerment, emergency response, and special needs of the poor. I was its 5th president, and much of what transpired during that year has helped me in life outside college. Looking back, it was the time when I was asked to be the leader of our organization. I used to take on a follower role years before I was elected, so it was truly surprising and shocking for me to be in that position. Most of the times though, I was the finance committee head, but being the finance committee head only requires me or sometimes 1 or 2 members, so there was not really much opportunity to lead there. I have to admit that we were honed as servant leaders in the organization, only that it was truly difficult for me to realize or to accept in myself that I am also a leader. I was really pressured at the time to take after the footsteps of the presidents before me, and it was really challenging to keep up. But eventually, I was able to manage, and that is why I am here. I will be sharing with you all the things I have learned during that year and all those years I have been in my organization. The first thing that I want to share with you is about the value of commitment. Joining an organization was an impulsive decision for me. I remember the time that I signed up just because the students in this organization were excelling in their academics. Being the achiever that I was back in high school and with my goal of graduating with flying colors, I want to truly focus on my studies, but learning that there are these students who are also excelling in their academics while in an organization, that made me sign up as well. So that was an impasse. There was still a recruitment process to undergo that I have to finish. And from that process, I was able to deepen my desire to join the organization. It made me immersed in the activities of the org, and also from that immersion, I was able to truly be firm in my desire to join the organization because I love what they do and I enjoy doing it. I got accepted, and the rest, as they say, was history. My journey in the organization was not a smooth sailing one, as we also encountered organizational problems here and there, but I think that what made it all work is the commitment that we have for the organization. Commitment to the mission and vision, and commitment to each other. It's like in a relationship that when the things get rough and get tough, so that's when you have to stay all the more. My commitment got tested when I became the president of the organization. I was really at the brink of giving up because I thought I cannot do it and I thought that I will not make it. I was really on a low self-esteem mode and I really doubt everything that I am doing in the organization. And I remember that time that instead of offering words of encouragement for the members, I was only able to offer my tears. So that's how I was as a leader. But I learned something from that experience that it is not me who made it all work, but it is our team back then. I am ever grateful that I have this supportive, committed, and understanding team back then, and a very patient moderator that pushed me, motivated me, and helped me in running the organization. It also helped that we have this leadership and personal development programs, as it also helped me to really ignite that leadership within me. And things might have been difficult during that time, but those struggles we had during that time had made us closer to each other, and it is from there that I was also able to get something, especially in my work. So commitment also played a part in my work, and it is the reason why I stayed in it. The 3 years of working was never an easy one, and there were also times that I thought of quitting, of giving it all up, but realizing and learning from this experience back in college helped me push on. And it is from that experience that I was able to remember that I can do it and I will be able to make it. Now that commitment takes on a much different scope, it's commitment to the company and the people it serves. It's commitment to my family and the people who depend on me, to my superiors and my co-employees, learning that value of commitment from my past experience in college, and especially in my leadership position back in college, was truly a blessing for me. Second, my organization ignited in me my love for service. It is through my org experiences that I was able to have this desire to be true to what every Athenian is called to be men and women for others. Being able to help our partner beneficiaries with our various activities and projects, with what we only have during that time, had always been fulfilling for me. And being of service to the people inside the organization had always been our training ground for the work we do outside. And being a president has also been like that, putting the needs of the people you are with and the people you serve in front of you, and responding to it had always been or had always required a servant heart. And it is from there that I thought of pushing for a path of service after college. But joining a non-government organization or an NGO after college did not materialize because it was way out of my options back then. Yet God has a way of putting us to a place where we are truly needed. And I found myself in a company where service is also at its core, with our cooperative tagline of members first always. I have come face to face with service each day of my stay in the office. It's not the service that I thought would be like, but it is service at its best for the people who are serving the country with their lives at stake. And as I am asked by service again, with my current endeavor that I am currently in, I know that service will always be part of my being. Lastly, it had allowed me to relate to other people well. Being in an organization where there are various personalities, as various individuals are involved, you will really learn how to relate. Being the introvert that I was, the organization has taught me so much about relating to other people. And I am ever grateful for being in the organization because if it was not for the org, I wouldn't have been friends with the friends that I still have until today. They had become my mentors because I always learn from them, not only from their org experiences, but from their lives as well. Some were companions for the journey in and out of college, and some remained brothers and sisters as we share this love for each other, for the people we serve, and for the organization as well. It is also from the organization that I learned the value of relationship, as it is evident in the way we relate to each other. And that had always been my commitment as a president, to keep our connection going as we continue being of service to other people. Being able to relate to other people well proved well when I started working, and it helped me when conflict arise because from there, from knowing the value of relationship, I was able to walk past through our conflict and make up for reconciliation. It is difficult to practice in the real world, but drawing from these experiences in the organization has proved me well and has helped me to make it all work. I owe a lot of these things I learned to my organization, and if I were to go back to myself 11 years ago, I will be making the same decision of signing up again and joining an organization, for it is one of the best decisions that I made back in college. All those things that I had been through in my organization has helped me prepared for the tougher life outside. I hope that if you are not still part of an organization, you will give it a chance. And if you are already part of it, just keep on keeping on and enjoy the journey, for it is truly a worthwhile experience. Thank you and God bless.
First responsibility of a leader is to define reality. The last is to say thank you. In between, the leader is servant by Max Dupree. Good day, fellow Ateneans. I am PJ, a graduate of Business Management Honors Program from Ateneo de Naga University, batch 2015. And this is such a wonderful opportunity for me to speak with you today, with you, my fellow student leaders and members of student organizations in Ateneo. Before I begin, I would like to tell you something about myself. I am currently working as an investment marketing officer for the city government of Naga, um, under the Naga City Investment Board. So what we do is we promote and sell Naga City to foreign investors so that we can generate jobs and employments for our fellow Nagueños and the Bicolanos. Also, we support local businesses that augments the services provided by these foreign investors. And lastly, it will also help in improving the overall economic growth of the city. Aside from my work in the city government, I am also active in our church as a church leader for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I love spending time with my families and friends, and I enjoy watching movies. And recently, I got married last February 10th, so that's something really exciting for me. You may not know me exactly, we may not have met each other before, but one thing that is common for both of us is that we are leaders in student organizations, and we are continuing to lead even this time. And I hope that from this meeting with you, we'll be able to explore our experiences together and share what we can learn from these experiences. So for today, I would also like to give thanks to the Office of Student Affairs for giving me this opportunity to kind of recollect what happened in my college years, and looking back, what are the lessons that I have learned being a student leader. So with that, let me share with you three things or three lessons I have learned as a student leader of Ateneo de Naga University. So just like you, I begin my college life by attending orientation seminar or ORSEM. Back then, we used to do it at the Ateneo Gymnasium, and just the hype of being with your blockmates and other freshmen who are beginning their journey in Ateneo. ORSEM kind of give us an insight of what it is like to have or receive Ateneo education. And from day one, they have been clear that what we're going to get is not just an education inside the classroom, but beyond. We are to learn values, and we're going to form our characters by doing outreach and service activities, and also developing our talents and skills. And just like that, I have felt the commitment and desire to go beyond just more than just studying in Ateneo de Naga University and making the most out of it. I still remember when Ma'am Jane of Admissions and Aid Office asked us, being scholars of the university, if we will commit to supporting the activities of Gabay Scholars Organization. And I said yes. And that decision really ended up me putting into my experience of being a student leader. Flashback to 2013, so many things happened in those 2 years before, but I ended up being appointed as president of Gabay Scholars Organization. I never imagined myself being put into that situation, but when there was a call to lead, I took that step. And I didn't know back then what's at stake or what will happen after I accepted that call. But looking back, I think I've made one of the best decisions in my life in accepting that call to leadership. So that puts me to my first lesson, which is the most impactful decision you will make is your decision to begin. Most of us are enjoying our comfort zones. Most of us would rather stay at our own location and just continue with our lives. But yes, there is safety and comfort zone, but there is also growth and dreams being fulfilled when we go out of our limits. And I know that we will be led to many opportunities and paths ahead, but our decision to begin will be needed to walk those paths. I challenge you, whether you are planning to be part of a student organization or to take leadership positions in student organizations, to make that decision, a decision to begin. Whether you're planning to identify what your future career will be, or whatever you're trying to venture or to start to make your dreams come true, the always important step to begin is to begin. Being president of Gabay Scholars Organization wasn't easy. Um, I said that I made the right decision, but that experience wasn't always about victories. Sometimes I also experienced defeats holding that position. And for sure, we have shared the same sentiments. We have experienced great growth and improvement in the organization, being accredited. When I decided to take the call for leadership as president of Gabay Scholars Organization, I already know that it wouldn't be easy, and that's how it ended up. My leadership journey in my third year of college wasn't always about victories. We've also experienced defeats as well. And these defeats ultimately led us to new learnings and experiences. During my term as the president of Gabay Scholars Organization, we've received a tremendous growth and improvement over the past few years. We were able to secure accreditation from the Office of Student Affairs as an accredited organization. Thanks to my predecessors who've done a really great job in making sure that we will keep up with our commitment to provide a great avenue for our scholars in the university. We've also we're able to expect significant participation from students, from scholars through the activities we've set. But normally in organizations, we will experience conflicts because each of us have our different experiences and mindsets and skills. We will experience conflicts with that. But at the end of the day, one thing that really taught me about this leadership journey is that you will never know everything. One thing that I've realized is that sometimes we are called to lead not because of our capabilities, but sometimes we are called because it's an experience that we needed to gain in order for us to identify our weaknesses and try to overcome them with the help of others. What I really love about working with student organizations is that you are not doing this alone. You have wonderful teammates, fellow student leaders in your organization that will help you and support you no matter what. During my third year in college has also been the most difficult part of my life. Aside from taking that challenge to lead a large organization in a university, we have faced family challenges as well. In less than 1 month after my mother was diagnosed with cancer, she passed away. And it was the most difficult part of my life, trying to visit my mother and attend to her during the evenings, not being able to get sleep, and from the morning, start attending my classes and also doing my task as a leader. It was also then that aside from my leadership position in student organizations, I'm also leading an organization in our church. I thought it was going to be difficult, but knowing that I have people to support me, really taught me that nothing is impossible. With that, I was able to learn something remarkable, and that is my second lesson. And that is, you do not need to know and do everything to be a leader. What makes you a great leader? Your willingness to accept that you're not always right, or you will never be able to do everything all at once. What makes a great leader is that you being able to acknowledge that you have your own weaknesses and your limitations, and that you can ask for help even before you begin. And as you do so, your journey of being a student leader um, would be easier than ever before. Trust me. Um, Studying and majoring in student organization is not easy. But if you're surrounded with people and you are um, working together to make those ends meet, um, you will succeed no matter what. Now that I am working as an employee, being a graduate of Ateneo for 6 years now, I have come to appreciate my journey being a student leader. Um, we've had a lot of success, and I've grown so much as a person. I was able to understand what my weaknesses are, and I was able to improve them as well. But now looking back, I realized that the student leadership title that you are having is not something that is closely attached to the student organization that you are related or connected with. When you are a student leader, you're not just a student leader of your organization. I'm not just a student leader of Gabay Scholars Organization, or you're not just a student leader of eco-curricular organizations or community organizations that you currently build. You are a leader not just in school, but you're also a leader in your school, in your home, and in your community. And as you have that mindset, you will realize that leadership is something that is innate with you. Leadership is not something that you do just to complete a checklist. Leadership is about becoming that person, building that character that would make your life a life full of lessons and learnings and um, ideas that would help you to serve other people. As I open my remarks with a quote from Max Dupree, I attest that the very purpose of leadership not about you or whatever, actually about having that desire to serve. You want to be a leader because you want to serve others. You believe that leadership is the best way for you to reach other people and to help them and to serve them. And with that, I would like to share my third and last lesson for you. That is, leadership is not about what you have done, but it is about what you have become. Now that I am um, now that I am here, looking back from my experiences in Ateneo, I feel like my experiences back then wasn't about crossing off the checklist that I needed to do in my, but rather my experiences back then molded me to the person that I am now. That helped me to become the leader in my own way, to serve without counting the cost, always striving to aim for Magis, always doing better and becoming better because I know that's how we can help others the best. Ultimately, that we can be men and women for us. Those are the lessons that I have learned. Not because I have accomplished so much in my college life that made me a student. Not about the titles or the achievements or the accomplishments that you were able to have that makes you or that defines you a student. What makes you a student leader is that you were able to become the person that you are hoping to be so that you can serve other people more. I hope that our conversation will help you We think about why you choose leadership in the. I hope that you will identify your why. Why'd you even start it? And what made you take that first step that would change your life for good? I encourage you to learn as much from every experience that you are having right now as a student and as a leader of an organization here in ADNU. I congratulate you for being bold enough to go out of your comfort zones and to explore something new, something challenging in your life so that you can take that call to serve others. And I pray for your success. I pray that you will learn from other people as much as you can. Never be scared to asking for, and to always know that it is not about what you have done, but it's about what you have become. Thank you so much, and Magis Day to everyone.